Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Hannah and this is Starbit Reader. So for today's video, we're going to be doing if you liked this anime or manga, you'll like this book. First, I want to appreciate the journal I'm using to take notes about my BookTube stuff. Look at how pretty she is. I don't know, it just makes me happy. I've been writing notes about like the books I'm reading and the videos I want to make and things like that, and it's really helpful, but I also think it's a pretty notebook, so it makes me want to write in it, and I have a thing with notebooks and school supplies where if it is pretty, I want to have it even if I don't use it for years or at all, ever. So let's get started with the actual video. So the first anime we're going to talk about is My Hero Academia. It follows our main character Deku, who lives in a world where people have quirks, and those are superpowers. Everyone's are quite different. They usually depend on what your parents' quirks are, and both of his parents have quirks, so he's really excited to get his quirk until he realizes he has the trait which marks someone as quirkless. So he ends up struggling with that while also having his biggest dream and hope for life being to become a superhero. He takes notes on all the superheroes he knows and sees in action, and he's kind of like a fanboy of superheroes, and so he's quite disappointed when he can't get his own quirk. And that is until the day he meets his all-time favorite superhero, his idol, and then things go from there. That story has a lot of different qualities that I think relate to a certain book that I've read and I really enjoyed. So there's the aspects of good versus evil, there's superheroes, there's found family, and there are super lovable characters. Even when they're not lovable, you still end up falling in love with them somehow. Almost everyone seems to have a redemption arc of some sort. But if you liked My Hero Academia, you will like Renegades by Marissa Meyer. Renegades follows a young girl named Nova, and she is a part of the villain side. Both the villains and heroes have superpowers. The villains feel like they are misunderstood and that superheroes aren't really all that great, and they kind of want to prove that. They also have other more sinister intentions and goals, but Nova ends up going undercover to become a hero and ends up spying on the heroes for the villains. She ends up making genuine friends along the way, so she becomes conflicted about her mission and about what she's really doing there, and it kind of goes from there. But I think that these two stories have the same elements, very similar vibe of lovable, superpowered characters where you want to see what happens next with them, and also the intrigue of how everyone's powers work and what it would be like if this person went up against this person. I was never into superheroes as a kid, so whenever someone would be like, do you think that Superman would beat... So when everyone was like, do you think that Superman would beat... What was another superhero? Superman? Who else has powers? I don't want to say Batman, that's kind of unfair. Superheroes. Lady. Superman. I'm gonna do different. Do you think that Iron Man would beat the Hulk in a fight? I didn't care. I didn't know. That was the end of it for me, but now I understand. It's interesting to see the intricacies of their powers and how they end up working against different powers, which powers they're weak against, things like that. So I think that if you like My Hero Academia, you'll really like Renegades by Marissa Meyer. So the next anime that I'm going to talk about is Bleach. This is one of the big three animes. It's really, really long, and a lot of people really like it. It follows Ichigo as he goes from being a normal, everyday guy just trying to get through high school to becoming a Soul Reaper. What that is Soul Reapers do defend the common folk. They see things that other people cannot see, and they use that to kind of defend everyone. To watch Bleach, you have to be committed. You have to like that idea, because it is long, but a lot of people really do like it, myself included. It has the chosen one trope. Ichigo is very much chosen. When he gets to the Soul Reaper world, you find that he is quite powerful despite the fact that he shouldn't be, because he just started. He's a baby Soul Reaper, but he can defeat most of his enemies. There's also the element of found family. When he starts out in high school, he has his real family, and then he goes to school and he kind of deals with everyone. But once he becomes a Soul Reaper, and so when he starts fighting as a Soul Reaper, he develops really close, tight-knit friends where he would do anything to kind of save them and protect them. And so there's this really strong found family element. There is lots of content. I've said that before, but you will not quickly run out of content if you start Bleach. There are seasons upon seasons, and then another show. So there's a lot of content. If you like that idea, you'll like that. There's also the idea of the average Joe, everyday high school kid who just is trying to get through their teenage life, becoming overpowered. Immediately, he has these powers, and he can do pretty much anything with them, and it's kind of like suspend your disbelief type of thing. There are like training scenes and stuff, but it's like not really super realistic in the span of the show. But if you like those things about Bleach, you'll like the Shadow Hunter world by Cassandra Clare. And I'm talking all of the series, all of the books. Not every series starts with normal person becomes person who can see demons and fight them and be really good at it. But that is for a lot of them, and I think the elements of found family and things like that really work well to connect these two worlds. The Shadowhunter world, I will just kind of give a brief overall overarching synopsis because every one of the series starts differently, but it follows Shadowhunters, and they are the only ones that can see demons and things like that, and they're protecting the mundane people who have no idea what's going on behind the curtain, and they're putting their life on the line in this way, and that's kind of what their purpose is. And a lot of different things happen because there's a lot of rules, and a lot of those rules are broken, but it becomes crazy, and you never really know what's going to happen next, and there is a lot of content. There are so many books in these worlds. Cassandra Clare just came out with a book not in this world after decades, a decade, I don't know, forever of writing these books. So if you like those aspects of Bleach, I think you will like them also in the Shadowhunter Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. The next anime I'm going to talk about is Blue Period. So this follows a boy who is kind of like a ruffian. He goes out with his friends and I don't know, he's kind of like not a good kid at the start, but he discovers his love for art and creating in that way. So this kind of transforms him a little. He was always a good kid at heart, but this allowed him to express that. Daisy Jones and the Six follows a young girl who loves singing. She discovers she's really good at it, so she pursues that despite all of the odds. She ends up joining a band called The Six, and it goes from there. She finds a lot of friends and people who share the same passion as her, and it all does come to a head at one point, but I won't go too much into it. So I think if you like Blue Period, you'll really end up liking Daisy Jones and the Six. So the next anime I'm going to talk about is One Piece. It's another one of the big threes. It follows Luffy D. Monkey, and he has a superpower because he eats the super devil fruit. Super something. He eats a fruit and it gives him superpowers, and he finds a group of friends that don't seem like they should really go together, and they go on lots and lots and lots of adventures, and it's just really a fun time. So if you like the adventurous aspect of it, they're always up to something, they're always out at sea. If you like the found family part of it, where he finds kind of a ragtag group of people that don't really seem like they should go together, but they end up being really close and would do anything for each other. If you like the chosen one aspect, where he finds a fruit and gets the power, and now he's magically really good and can defeat almost anyone. And if you like the fun magic system and seeing how that works, and kind of discovering those things about the characters, then I think you'll really like Shadow and Bone, the trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. So Shadow and Bone follows a young girl who starts out as a complete normal person, but discovers that she's a Grisha, and that means that she has a power, and she's actually a really rare one, so it is very much normal person to OP kind of situation. And she ends up making a group of friends, as well as keeping her old friend, and embarking on this journey with them and discovering what she can do to kind of help save the world. So I think if you like those aspects of One Piece, you'll really like them also in Shadow and Bone. Well, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun kind of putting those anime and books together. I didn't realize how similar certain stories were until I was writing the script, but